Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. I hope you're all doing well. So I've acquired a lot of fragrances already in the year 2022. I know we're still in the month of January 24th, but in today's episode, I'm going to be ranking and giving you my quick rapid fire thoughts on 10 of my acquisitions for the year 2022, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin this video and I tell you about these 10 fragrances that I acquired in 2022, and I give you kind of like a mini review of each one, just rapid fire thoughts, tell you what I think about each one, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance related content, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, and of course give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's episode. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive right into the list. Let's not waste any time. And the first one that I want to talk about is the one in the number 10 spot. And truth be told, this year I've already acquired about somewhere between 30 and 35 fragrances. But this is Lacoste L1212 Blanc Eau Fraiche. Now, I think this has a very pleasant smell. I think this one is super safe, super easy to wear. I've already worn it on a number of occasions. My wife really enjoys it too. I just think that it's not really groundbreaking, and then at the same time, I think the longevity is an issue. And so I'm getting roughly like 5-6 hours on my skin. I do have a very acute sense of smell, and so even like normally when other people say they can no longer smell a fragrance on them, I can usually still smell the fragrance on me without necessarily having to dig my nose into my skin or anything like that. But I do think that there are some longevity issues with this fragrance, so had it not been for that, I think this fragrance could have had more of my adoration, if you will. But it's a nice fragrance, smells pleasant, just going to be a fragrance that you might need to reapply with. And of course, in terms of the smell, very bright, very citrusy, kind of synthetic and a little bit generic smelling, if you will, but I do think it's a pleasant smell. And so if you are in Macy's or wherever you happen to be, if they're carrying it, definitely try it for yourself, because scents are subjective. The next fragrance I want to talk about is one that a lot of people had some pretty interesting opinions on. This one is Eilish by Billie Eilish. So generally speaking, when I review fragrances, I try to separate the fragrance from the person who created it, the face of the brand, the creative director, so on and so forth. I just think of the fragrance as its own. I kind of try to give it its own merit. And in the case of this fragrance, I think it's a really nice vanilla. I've actually smelled sweeter vanillas like Ani by Nishane or even Vanille INCENSE by Atelier Cologne. This one is a really nice mix of vanilla and red berries. And so if you're looking for a vanilla with a bit of a fruity touch, I think this one is a great option for you. And also, it compares rather well in terms of the performance that I got from the Lacoste. The performance that you're going to get from Eilish is actually a lot better by a few hours. So the next fragrance on this list I totally love. And this is a fragrance that actually I recently discovered. I wasn't even too aware of this brand, to be honest with you. And this one is called L'Ambre de Carthage. And this is a beautiful dry amber fragrance by Isabey. I'm going to leave links down below. And it's such a beautiful, well done amber. Some ambers can be very sappy and resinous and sticky. Some can just have an overdose of vanilla in them. But this one is a really beautiful blend of all of the resins. And it's not overly sweet, which I enjoy. It has a touch of powder, but it's a beautiful, warm, sort of spiritual amber, and I love the experience that I have when I wear this one. So this is one where I'm going to spend a little bit more time with it. I hope to eventually be able to review it on my channel, just because I haven't seen too many reviews of Isabey fragrances, and so I do want to give it my shot at sort of speaking on camera in terms of what I think about the smells of a couple of their offerings, and I actually do have two. The next fragrance by Gucci, it's a Gucci Guilty Flanker, and this is Parfum Pour Homme. So prior to this, they had the Eau de Parfum. Now they have a Parfum. It does smell very similar to the Eau de Parfum, and I do plan on eventually doing a comparison video. This one perhaps is just a little bit stronger, and you're probably going to get an extra couple hours of longevity over the original. But yeah, woodsy in the base, very bright, citrusy in the opening, huge compliment getter. Like any Gucci Guilty fragrance, probably except for Absolute, depending on how you wear it and how confident you are when you wear it. But generally speaking, Gucci Guilty fragrances, aside from the Absolute and the Oud, are very safe, very easy to wear, universally appealing, and compliment-getting fragrances. So the next one that I want to talk about is by Cartier, and this one is called Cartier Declaration Haute Fraîcheur. And so this one is their most recent flanker. Really cool mechanism here. I'm sure if you've owned a Declaration fragrance, you know there's a little stopper that prevents you from misfiring, if you will. This is a beautiful lemon fragrance. I actually happen to be wearing it right now. Beautiful lemon fragrance, very bright, vivid, citrusy. I've compared it to fragrances like Aqua Viva by Profumum Roma. It's just this very bright, energizing, vacation type of a scent that even at times gives me a bit of like a mojito vibe, which I really enjoy. So the next two fragrances that I want to talk about, and I think both of these are absolutely fantastic. I am preparing to review one of them on my channel very soon. So these are actually by Amouage. So this is part of the Extraits collection. And so you know that they have 4 fragrances or reinterpretations of 4 of their classics in a higher concentration. And so we're looking at Honor for Women, Reflection for Men, Interlude for Men, and Epic for Women, which is a Cecile Zarokian composition. So here the purple one is the new Reflection. I think it's Reflection 45 and Interlude 53. So let's talk about these two. Reflection 45 is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It reminds me of the original. And even going back to the original, it's gotten so powerful because I've had it for so many years. So it's been left to macerate for such a long time, and just the lasting power, the robust quality of the scent, absolutely gorgeous. I am a huge, huge fan of Reflection, and I'm not just talking about the original, but now Reflection 45 is one that, hey, eventually I have to get a bottle of. The new Interlude, which is Interlude 53, I always seem to forget the number. I believe that one is Pierre Negrin, is the perfumer. Reflection is Lucas Suzak, of course. So with Interlude 53, that stuff is powerful. If you thought the original Interlude Man was strong, right? They often call it the Blue Beast. This one is the Bluer Beast. I don't even know how else to say it. It's just such a stronger fragrance. I mean, the concentration of that dark sort of aromatic, smoky, resinous, oregano, woodsy kind of an aroma has been amplified tenfold, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. But again, just be very conservative with the trigger because you might end up choking somebody out. Then we have a release by our good friend Daniel Gallagher, who has Gallagher fragrances. He also has Pearlescent Parfum. And here we have Rosé Noir. Beautiful fragrance, right? So you have this warm, ambery, spicy, apple crisp, tonka bean, vanilla kind of a fragrance. It also has this stainless steel accord or note. I don't get anything too metallic from it. As a matter of fact, on the contrary, it's actually quite warm and resinous and amicable for me. So I love Rosé Noir. The fragrance in the number 2 spot, I recently did a video on this one too. The brand is Ramon Monegal. And this one from the Ibiza collection is called #Café del Mar. And it's a beautiful seaweed and coffee fragrance. Would have never imagined a combination like that, but it just works together so well. And it really does remind me of being out by the ocean or by a beautiful beach when the sun is high in the sky and you're drinking a freshly brewed cup of coffee and you just get that cross breeze of the salty air. It's a beautiful tropical leaning vacation kind of a fragrance and a very unique composition. I've never smelled anything like it before. And the one fragrance that I'm actually really digging a lot, and I surprised myself because I do like the original, and I, looked at this as a flanker, potentially an unnecessary flanker. but as it turns out, I actually do like it a lot. And so this one by Hugo Boss is called Boss de Scent Le Parfum, right? So this is the stronger concentration, a spicy, fruity, warm, maninka fruit type of a fragrance. Very exotic smell, a little bit of warmth. You have that fruity overtone. It's rich, but it also has like this flirty, clubbing, sensual element about it. And I think this one is going to get a lot more favorable reviews in the months and perhaps even years to come. I can see it sort of retaining its popularity because at the end of the day, it is a really, really good fragrance. And so it's one that I look forward to wearing a lot more, especially because I think it's perfect for the colder weather. And then, of course, you know, once we start getting into summer, I'll probably wear more of the Cartier or more of the Lacoste. Hopefully it performs a little bit better in the summertime, although I'm not too optimistic about that. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed the video, just me giving my very quick rapid fire thoughts on 10 recent acquisitions, 10 fragrances that recently made it to my collection. If you own or have tried any of these fragrances, let me know what you think. What are your thoughts or opinions? Leave a comment down below. Please don't forget to support this channel by subscribing to it. If you enjoyed this video or if you took anything of value from this video, thank you so much for your viewership. Love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.